Greetings, everyone. Back with another Sneaker Shop Talk performance review. On deck today, as you can see, is the Nike KD8. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, gang. Well, honestly, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Any issues stemming from the inner, there aren't any that's going to cause any sort of discomfort or anything. No raised seams or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that. And I say it in all my reviews, and this one shan't be any different. The cushioning, the fit, and all of those things are great, but there's something in here underneath that's causing you discomfort. Doesn't matter, because you're not going to wear the shoe because it's uncomfortable, and you don't have to worry about that on this shoe. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's kind of get into the fit here. Now, the fit on the KD8 is actually quite good. Now, the first thing I did notice is, of course, what I'm going to point out here, as you can see, you do have flywire, but it does not extend all the way up the upper here. As you'll see here, you've got three lace loops of flywire on the medial side, and you've got 4 here on the lateral side here. So I pointed up so you can kind of see that there. And it's very noticeable the impact that these have when I first put the shoe on. The fit through here is very good. Like I said, it's casual, and even more so once you lace these in, when you take them on the court, it is very noticeable. The effect of the flywire cables here, not only from a fit standpoint, but a support standpoint, which I'll kind of get into a little later here. But anyway, the fit through here is extremely good, especially when you get these guys laced up. This area of the foot is not going to go anywhere. Now, that's not to say that from here on back is not good. It's quite good as a whole. Once you put your foot in the shoe, you just don't have any sort of unwanted foot movement internally, be it front to back, side to side, or in the heel area, up and down here. There's no heel slip here. Let's see the heel here. What you've got is an internal heel counter here, and intelligently padding here at the heel here. It's not really notched per se, but it's more kind of, bumpered is the standard, as I'll call it. You've got a little curb, so to speak, there. So that helps keep the heel locked in. And that means your foot's just not going to go anywhere inside the shoe, which is a very, very good thing. Now, in terms of support, or support and flexibility, the upper, there's no break-in time. These are pretty much ready to go right out of the box. Now, the material on this particular colorway, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. Now, this is a flyweave upper, okay? Now, in certain areas, it's going to be stronger than in others to promote your fit here. So it's a little denser here around the forefoot area here than it is close to the back. Starts off very flexible, like I said, right out of the box. There is no break-in time. These are ready to go. Now, because this material, like I said, is flexible, it is fairly supportive. As you can see, the shoe holds up its shape very well, despite all the time that I've put in these. And particularly in this area of the shoe here, this is another reason the flywire helped here. Now, in addition to, of course, enhancing fit, it does provide lateral support, so you don't have to worry about your foot kind of moving off the footbed here. It does a great job of not only keeping your foot in place, but I think it helps the shoe overall hold its shape as well. And I will even venture to say this because of the nature of this flyweave material here. This is a shoe that I feel that would be a bit accommodating if you have a wider foot. You can probably get into these, I think, without much of an issue. But overall, the fit of the KD8 was very good. The upper, very flexible right out of the box. And the upper was very, very supportive as well. All right, now getting into the cushioning aspect here, what you've got here is a Phylon midsole, and that sits atop. This is a full-length Zoom airbag here, as you can see here. Now, I'll say this. With Phylon, sometimes depending on how it's tuned, it can start off on the harder side or on the softer side. This was a bit on the, I wouldn't say it started off hard per se, but there was definitely a break-in time. And here's why I say that. What it did during that break-in time, it was, I don't know, for lack of a better, it somewhat returned the feel of the Zoom Air underneath. That's not to say it inhibited the cushioning ability of the Zoom Air. It was just because of the stiffness that the midsole started off with. You couldn't feel it, the responsive aspect of it, as much as you would have liked. After the first couple of wearings, that did change, and it got a whole lot better. So know that, there's gonna be a break-in time. So if you're wearing these, you may want to actually wear these for a day or two prior to playing in them to kind of shorten that break-in time. So once you get them on the court, you can get more of the effect of it. Now, once that happened, it did improve and the ride became a whole lot better in terms of the actually being able to get some perception and cushioning feel out of the Zoom Air, which as usual was very good. Now, again, as you can see, the Phylon, it does compress somewhat, and that did lend to the stability of the shoe, which I should have touched on in the support, but I'll just say this: the KD8 was a shoe, it didn't have a propensity to tip over. It is a rather stable shoe anyway, but I didn't touch on that, so I didn't want to cover that. Now, in terms of the flexibility of the midsole, again, this started off very stiff. Now, I'm going to turn it over here to the outsole. Now, as you can kind of see here, you've got these flex channels here. I wouldn't call this articulated zoom, but in order to enhance the flexibility, even despite having those there, the shoe from a midsole standpoint, just from a flexibility aspect, it did start off stiff. See my previous comments. I'll wear these for a bit to help again break that aspect of it in as well. But once that happens, it flexed a whole lot better throughout this area, a whole lot better, and I found that helped the shoe move with my foot a whole lot better once that did break in. Once that happened, like I said, the cushioning just felt a whole lot better throughout the shoe. Your sock liner, you do have, I'll cover this one last bit. I took the other one out. But here's your sock liner here. As you can see, it is an ortholite sock liner. So it does give you some step-in cushioning before this midsole breaks in. So that does help to mitigate the feel fresh out of the box. But definitely, just like I said with the upper, you definitely want to wear these prior to taking them on the court, just to try to shorten the break-in time curve there for you. But despite that, once you get that, it does improve, and the cushioning on the KD8 does become very, very good. All right, now moving down to the bottom here, and the traction, you've got a solid rubber outsole. Now there is a herringbone pattern here. It's just larger than you might recognize here. If I can, my hand here, if you can see it, you can see it right there. There's your herringbone there that extends here and at the heel as well. The traction on the KD8 was very, very good. It grips the floor very well. Now, as you can see, most of the time with herringbone, the channels there, or the actual whatever you want to call them, I don't want to say the lines here, but the rubber grooves are a little bit thinner than this, as you can see, because it's a rather large pattern. It is a little more, it's quite squared off. But anyway, it's still, nonetheless, it does stick to the floor very well. As you can see, it is somewhat, and I use that term loosely, somewhat flexible. But despite that, it does still allow the floor the sneaker to grip the floor very well. I was quite pleased with the traction. This was one of the few areas of the shoe that was ready to go right out of the box from day one. I said I didn't have any moments of slipping. I take that back. I had one in all of my time where it did slip out on me. But outside of that, you grip the floor very well. Whether you were, making a cut or doing something, it stuck right with you all through the course of your movements, and that's what you want for a shoe that is a perimeter player oriented, and is for a player that is in attack mode. Then the cushioning, or not the cushioning, the traction on the KD8 is going to be able to keep up with you. Now, would I recommend this outsole for outdoor use? Perhaps in a limited fashion. If it was, your shoe you may need, for a game or two here or there, yes, I would. Long term, I'm not sure. I would definitely tell you this. Like I said, this rubber, the rubber compound here is not super duper soft, but if you do take it outdoors, you definitely want to monitor, and depending on the abrasiveness of the court that you're playing on, how it's doing, and then you can make that call long term accordingly. But I wouldn't totally rule it out. But again, just be careful. But overall, the cushioning, or I keep wanting to say cushioning, the traction on the KD8 was very, very, very good. All right. In conclusion, the KD8 was a more than rock solid performer from top to bottom. The fit is excellent. Your foot's not going to go anywhere in the shoe. It's a very flexible and supportive upper, particularly once the shoe it breaks in and you get it right. It really allows you to move it with your foot. It doesn't work against you. The cushioning, again, once you break it in, both from a feel standpoint and a midsole flexible standpoint, the cushioning is very, very quite good. Traction, ready to go out of the box, no issues there. It's going to grip the floor even very well, even on less than pristine surfaces, if you will. And it holds up quite well to wear, both in terms of shape retention and just how it shows up. You got a few little scuffs around the midsole, and other than that, as you see, it holds up very well. So it's going to get you through an extended time period of wear, so you don't have to worry about it tearing up on you. So overall, it is definitely a very good shoe. I definitely would put it on my recommend list. With the 9 recently coming out or being released fairly recently, you can probably find this shoe for a very good price. And if you do, absolutely take it out for a test drive, and it will not disappoint you. My only caveat is for the real big fellas, it just may not be enough shoe for you. But for perimeter players and even some small bigs. This is a shoe you can definitely get inside and it will treat you right. Now, I do want to thank everyone for checking out this latest performance review. We have more coming up real soon. Also, what you can do is you can head over to our website, SneakerShopTalk.com. We'll have an article, more detailed write-up of the KD8, as well as sports and sneaker-related news as well. So, with that being said, I'm going to sign out. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share all the good stuff about this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll be back with more videos very soon.